Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm going to be watching my phone because the attorney is trying to enter a room because he's going to be here for part of this tonight. So I'm not trying to be rude, letting you know ahead of time. The time is 7:00 p.m. Thursday, June 13th, 2024. 7:00 is our regular meeting time. We did adjust that this month because Kyle's son graduated and Tim's daughter. And so to accommodate staff, we went ahead and moved this meeting because they would like to be here. So thanks for understanding, everybody. While I say this, we'll call it to order and we'll do a roll call. Councilman Ladd will be absent tonight. He's not feeling well. He is excused. Councilman Gonzalez. Here. I'm Mayor Gilland. I'm present. Council President Michael Gregory. Here. Councilman Joel Ramon. Councilman John Harvey.
Here.
Okay, and then we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Flag, the United States of America, to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So I have some adjustments to the agenda. I'm going to rearrange a few things because our city manager would like to do a presentation. So I am going to, for the record, move the presentation to now number 4, public comment to number 5, consent calendar, number 6, number 7 would be committee reports, number 8, presentation, number 9, public hearing, number 10, new business, number 11, old business, number 12, staff reports, and then 13 would be business from the mayor and council, and then on 14, we will adjourn. With that being said, Roger, you've asked for a moment, so there you go.
This work? Yes. Can you hear me now?
For those of you who don't know, this is Roger D. Brown, our city manager.
So, you were poured in not long ago. A lot of people signed some documents, and here are those documents, original signature. Thank you.
Roger, can you tell the people a little bit that weren't here for that, what those signatures are and stuff?
Signature. Signed it. The judge, mayor, and myself. And then on the right-hand side of this are all the dignitaries, chiefs of police, chiefs from the district attorney's office that were in attendance. Thank you. Welcome. That was every proof of us.
Thank you, Roger. That was very kind of you. So now we're going to move on to public comment. This is a business meeting at a city council. The city values and welcomes public input on matters of city concern. Please address the council as a whole rather than individual council members or city staff. Council action on items brought up in public comment is limited by the Oregon Open Public Meeting Law. The council may direct staff to study the matter and reschedule for further consideration at a later date. Public comment is limited to 3 minutes per person with an optional 2 minutes for council questions and answers. If you wish to address the council, you need to come forward to the podium, identify yourself for the record, stating your name and physical address. I also have a request for an extended time tonight. So when you see me do that, I have a written formal request for extra time for disability. So with that, is there anybody to come up?
Good evening. I'm Jason Skinner. I live at 565 East Elm Drive, Jervis. Prior to the start of this year, I did not pay attention to any of the silly politics whatsoever. So I started giving the benefit of the doubt to the city council and mayor. These are the items that I hold the council responsible for. First, they placed the former chief of police on leave without notifying any citizens of the Jervis, contrary to standard practices across the entire United States. This resulted in inaction on many ongoing cases and a threat to public safety. Second, the council and the mayor failed to take a proper turnover to the prior city managers, resulting in the delay in the ability to access city funds. Third, the delay in the start of the city budget costing city money by failing to take advantage of the free training programs offered by the state of Oregon. And a full delay in the progress preventing of accurate assessment of the budget situation with potential loss of money currently. Fourth, while hiring the current new city manager within the executive session, which is fully legal, the city council and the mayor, contrary to ORS 192.660.7, failed to take public comment on the hiring requirements of the city manager, on the hiring of the city manager. Fifth, in accordance with the rulings of the 9th and the 6th Supreme Court, ruled that public officials who post about topics relating to their work on their personal social media accounts, acting on the behalf of the government, and therefore can be held liable against the First Amendment when they block their critics, including myself, only when they have to speak on behalf of the state and actually exercising their power. This is contrary to the actions of the city council, including the mayor. And then finally, I would like to point out the complete and utter disrespect shown by the council and the mayor, by people sitting in this very seat, by doing comments by showing no interest in ignoring the basic rules of public speaking. Various council members and mayor have not given complete attention to those who have sit in this chair and given public speaking forms.
Hey, I'm gonna have to stop you and let you have 15 extra seconds to see. Because
After that, I am done.
Okay.
I would just like to say that I have seen throughout that you have done extra things by not paying attention to the people that are sitting in this chair. And as a person that has extreme anxiety from doing public speaking, that is highly disrespectful
Okay,
to everyone.
thank you. Thank you for coming in and giving us your opinion. like what you see. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You as well. Anybody else? Anybody else want to comment, public comment? Anybody in the board out there? So we have one coming forward, and this is our disability, so he will get 5 minutes. Thank you for writing ahead, by the way.
Excuse me?
Thank you for following the rules. Another thing is, and I usually say it, and I did miss it today, if you're feeling disparaged, it's freedom of speech. Anybody can say anything they want in that chair for the most part. If you feel disparaged, please get up, go out, raise your hand. I'll call you back when they're done. But, we don't get to police what gets said, not even to ourselves. So that's the rules. It's how it works. So again, feel disparaged, get up, and leave. We'll call you back. And with that, can you say your name and everything?
Douglas Lanfear, 940 Winfield Street, East Jervis, Oregon, 97026. Good evening, Mayor, City Council members, and city staff. I come to speak tonight about the city recall effort, as that is the most urgent, pressing matter that needs addressing before the vote later this month. I have already voted, and many of my neighbors have reflected that they have as well sent in their ballots. I can only thank my Jervis neighbors for voting and having their voice heard. It is a free process that costs everyone no one and does not require you to go anywhere to participate. Let your voice and your vote be heard. This current recall effort, less than a year after the last recall election, is poorly thought out. What objective, solution, or goal is trying to be met here? Retaliation is not reason for recall. Recalls should be used for a narrow scope of actions, such as malfeasance of office, a criminal conviction, or other substantive reasons. A dismissal over the liability of a city employee, no matter how much that person is liked, does not erase the potential civil exposure to the city for not acting on a substantiated report of malfeasance. The city has a duty to investigate all allegations presented to it. That is written into law. If they fail to investigate such allegations, that presents a whole list of problems, none of which are pleasant. What is the goal of this election? None has been articulated. I'm sure that social media is rapid with gossip, innuendo, hyperbole, and speech that few would ever participate in face to face. I, for one, have not even looked at social media for at least the past 2 months. Social media is just full of unsubstantiated innuendo and hyperbolic hyperbole, mostly outright lies. Truly, though, what is the plan? To reinstate the police chief that poses a risk to the city? Then what? Fire all the rest of what the social media trolls term as undesirable to the city? The social media trolls, that is what they are, the worst kind of under the bridge trolls from the fairy tales we all remember from our childhood. These trolls, many of which do not live in Jervis, have far too much time on their hands for their own good. The present recall effort is just a distraction from what the city needs. This is governance by the people that live here, not the few that do not live here and exploit the city for our tax contributions, depleting the funds to where they are today. This city has to return to a pre-2012 city charter status, and only the present city council can accomplish this. This recall effort is the last gasp of the old regime to hold on to power by diverting the city from the tasks of challenging the city charter or changing the city charter back to pre-2012 conditions. This is a distraction, not a solution. This is a furtherance of chaos, not stability. No additional power is being granted to the mayor or any single person, but the present charter does exactly that. The present charter granted exclusive power to a single point of failure. In my example, that would be Susie Marsden. Past city manager did not leave this city with a single standard operating procedure, never cross-trained a single position, or even took the time to cancel access to credit cards or bank accounts. That is not the trait of a manager. That is the behavior of an opportunistic exploiter. At the end of the last city council meeting, I was approached by a past city council member who rushed up to me and said to me clearly, "My name better never come out of your mouth," before rushing out the door. This is the consistent behavior of a certain group of people in this city. To yell out insults without discussion or rational thought behind their comments that are blurted out, then to run away before a cogent response could even be heard. This group is not interested in participating in intelligent discussion, as it's easier to lob an insult and run away to their dark spot, continue to hide as trolls do, until the trolls can make their attacks again. These trolls are cowards, not the leaders this city should rely upon. Thank you again for the opportunity to address the citizens of Jervis and the city council this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in. Thank you for your opinion. Anybody else?
Good council. It's Brian Wagner. I live at 166 East Hemlock Drive, Jervis, Oregon. In retort to what we just heard, this is not about revenge, this recall. It has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with retaliation. What it has to do with is our lack of trust and faith in your leadership, your lack of management skills, your lack of ability to lead this city into the future. That's exactly what this is about. This recall isn't about trolls coming out and attacking people, because the attacks have been going on both sides. You can't deny that. There's attacks go to your side all the time. Just like we have council members that actually go to people's houses that have yes signs in front of theirs and personally try to coerce them to change their votes. Yes, they're willing to come forward. But anyways, that's pretty funny. It's really childish, actually. People can have their own opinion, just like he said. That's what this vote is about. Let's find out what the citizens really want. The majority, the people that are actually voting. And if the people vote, this council step down so we can straighten this thing back out, straighten the shit back out, and get off the rocks, then let it happen. Quit complaining, quit going to people, quit arguing with other people, quit trying to change their minds behind everybody's back with your little books and stuff like that. This is about what people want, not about trolls, not about people come up trying to be eloquent and talk about what they believe from the bottom of their hearts. This is about the inability of this council to actually see that for every action, there's equal and opposite reaction. And every action you've had in the past has brought us to this right now. I'm sorry, can I get you? Very unprofessional as the president, by the way. So anyways, I would like to say thank you very much. I would like to say thank you very much. And I hope you have a great day. Full tide roll.
Good day.
Thank you for coming in. Thank you for sharing your opinion. Anybody else?
Else in house want to talk?
Sylvia, it's your first time, I think, so you'll need to say your name and address.
My first time. I'm Sylvia Ramon. I live at 340 Alder Avenue in Jervis. I've been here since I'm the 7th grade. And I cannot believe what's going on. I see people that are from Woodburn, that I know, lots of Mexican people, from Jervis too, and they keep telling me what is going on. Why do people do this thing? Why do people hate people? Which they think that they don't hate, but it is hate. What kind of people are these that are teaching their kids this? Is this the way you want your kids to grow up? I try to make my kids to respect other people. Yes, people have opinions, but keep them to yourself if you don't like that person. And don't be saying anything. That's cruel. And I try. And people can go ahead and laugh at me. I don't care. And they can say whatever they want to. But you know what? I have another cheek that I can turn around and say, I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of my kids that they know how to respect people. You don't talk behind their backs. You don't put stuff on their Facebook, which I know that they have put. And I hate to say it about my husband, which that person doesn't even know my husband. And why did she put anything about my husband? And she doesn't even know him. These are cruel people, whether you want to believe it or you don't want to believe it. They are cruel people. If you have an opinion and you pay that person, keep it to yourself. Come on. We're grown-ups. We're not teenagers anymore. And you can think whatever you want to, whatever after I finish, and you can laugh at me, you can go and gossip about me. Like I said, I have another cheek. I can turn it around and I don't care, because I know, how the council is and everything. And the mayor, whether they say, oh, she's your friend. Everybody's my friend. I know lots of people here in Jervis. I know lots of Mexican people, and I know people from Woodford, and they're always asking me, and they tell me, what's going on over there? Why do people hate people? They tell me, I sure would want to live over there. Is that the kind of town you want, that people to talk, that they don't want to come and live here because of this? No. Let's just stop this and have peace. We're tired of it. Part of us that live here, Mexicans, they come up to me and they tell me they're tired of us. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you for coming in, Sylvia. Vote.
I did.
Everybody vote, whatever you want. As to answer to this, vote. And both sides do have a right to try to sway the others. That is what politics are about. Vote. I too am tired of it. And hopefully when the vote comes through, it'll get listened to. That's all. Anybody else? You're not hearing any, we're gonna go ahead and move on. To number 6, our consent calendar, approval of minutes for May 2nd, 2024 regular session, April 26th, 2024 executive/special session, and the bills list for May 2024. The requested action is a motion to approve the consent calendar. We're not taking,
I apologize for interrupting, but there is a chat message
we don't do chat messages.
that would,
We
it did happen before you
I know, well, was their hand up to speak? We'll let them speak, but we don't do messages.
Yeah.
In fact, that feature is usually turned off. So thanks for pointing that out. Okay, so back to it. Was it a hand that wanted to speak? No, I'm not seeing it. Okay, so can I get that motion to approve the consent calendar?
There's no, if he has any question about it, I'll make the motion to approve the consent calendar.
Okay, I have a motion. Is there a second? Okay, is there any discussion? Not hearing any. I'll take all in favor, say aye. I'd like the record to reflect the ayes have it in a unanimous form. The motion carries, so moved. The next agenda item is a committee report, which we don't have any. 8 is presentations, which we had moved, and we don't have any further. 9 is public hearing, we don't have one tonight. 10 is new business. The first agenda item for that is A, employment contract for city manager. It's not one that I do the raised hands for because it's an employee matter that the council decides. So I handed out those contracts for you guys to read over. Do you have anything you want to say before a motion is made to either accept or not accept?
Questions? Here.
There are no questions from any of the present council. Roger, do you have anything you want to say, or are you good?
I'm just fine.
So Peter Hicks, our employment specialist, the one who drew up this contract and negotiated the terms for us, making it completely legal. With that being said, can I get a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion on the employment contract for the city manager.
I got the motion. Can I get a second? There's a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any more discussion from council? Ready? Okay, not hearing any questions, I'm going to take a roll call vote, and we're not accepting questions from the audience. This is an employer matter.
Apologize ahead of time, but in accordance with ORS 192.660, you are required to take public comment for employing a CEO, in which was not done ahead of time.
And
Just like to
Okay,
point
can I
that
stop?
to the public record.
you may stop now. Please stop. And did you hear that?
I can't hear you.
Yes, I did
City
hear
attorney
that.
is here.
And I don't have my
And we're still not able to hear you.
you can't hear me? I'm sorry, my laptop works with every city except Jervis for some reason, so I have to use my cell phone to
I can hear you and you're on speaker with the gallery. Okay.
There was an objection that 192.660 requires public comment on a city manager contract. And generally that is true, that people are allowed to make a public comment on a CEO, on a city manager contract. Subject to the usual restrictions on time and content, or time and these are comments that the council should listen to, but don't need necessarily to respond to.
Okay, so then at this time, Mr. Skinner, do you have a comment?
I would just like to make a public record that I would point out the fact that it
Come
is
up to the
technically-
microphone, please.
No problem. As I was stating back there, I would just like to make it public comment on the fact that I would like to request the fact that public comment is required per 192.660. And as I stated before in my public address, you are perfectly able to hire Roger in an executive session, but I do feel that you missed the public comment portion that is required by state law. And I would just like that made as public comment stating, hey, we as the populace of the city of Jervis should be able to say, yes or no on whether or not to elect to have Roger be our city manager. Just as the comment that is required per state law.
You want to weigh in.
Basically.
And do you have a comment to that?
Did actually write a letter about this, so I'm pretty sure of the facts. And no hiring took place in an executive session.
Yeah.
There may have been a discussion of some sort about some matters that relate to hiring in an executive session. But the hiring was done in a public meeting, and the gentleman who was just speaking just should go back and watch the video of the prior, the one meeting.
April
Meetings ago,
26th.
I think it was, just to be factually accurate. That's, otherwise, I don't have a comment.
If I'm incorrect on that, I do
are.
apologize. But based off of the comments by yourself, the mayor stated on Facebook that Roger Brown was hired under an executive session. That is,
If I said that, that's not, good. And I mean, if I need to correct that, I will.
unfortunately, due to the fact that you have blocked me on Facebook, I am unable to validate that.
I have a personal Facebook. And so as the mayor, I'm not talking on there at all. So if I don't want you on my Facebook, I'm not going to have you. You're a friend of mine of being me. I'm not gonna argue this, Mr. Skinner. In fact, that's all for the comment. Did you have anything else about Roger's hiring?
No, ma'am.
Hey, thank you for your input, and this is how we remedy it. That's why we have the city attorneys present. And a lot of misgivings have been put on there that we did it illegally and we did not. Is everybody clear on that?
I thank you for your time.
Thank you. We are all infallible, or fallible. We're not, but he was right about the comment and we were right that we did not hire anybody illegally. So that being said, anybody else want to comment? I'm not seeing anybody else. So with that, we're going to move on to a vote. Councilman Harvey,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyle Ramon.
Yes.
Council President Michael Gregory.
Yes.
Councilman Gonzalez. Let the record reflect that all four councilmen tonight voted yes. The ayes have it, the motion carries, so moved. The next is another hot topic, repurpose community property initiative funds from skate park to payment for construction management fees for the wastewater treatment plant. I'm gonna let Roger talk a little bit about that. But the thing is Roger really, for the third time, has caught huge grant mishaps. One was for our generator. No documentation was done. So we almost had to pay it back. Roger walked it back, him and Kyle, they got it done. Second, Police Chief Tim West and Roger caught a COPS grant for $125,000 that had zero documentation that was required done for 3 years. Because of Roger and Tim and Kyle's hard administrative look at things and rectifying what they found to be an issue, this city was saved $155,000, and tonight we're going to save $60,000 from having to be returned. Thank you, Roger. Then I'll let you explain it now.
Okay, a while back, we had a meeting with Community Prosperity Initiative Funds. They had provided a grant, going back 4 years, $15,000 a year. They were supposed to be earmarked for a skate park. The needle didn't move on that. It didn't get done. There was no construction. The money just sat in the bank account. And they have come to us and said, you can't sit in the bank account and not be spent on something. And they're not interested in supporting a skate park because nothing's happened on it. So my thought was, okay, what can we spend it on so we don't lose it? When the wastewater treatment plant contract was let, there was $1 million grant from ARPA and a $600,000 flexible grant also from ARPA. It's looking like, well, one of the things that we want to use this money for is when the contract was let, the engineering firm that's doing the construction management, that was not put out to bid. They were a familiar firm with the city. City worked with them for years, and it was deemed that they would be the engineering firm. They cannot be paid out of either of those grants. This grant, if it's repurposed, would allow us to do that. Now, if we don't repurpose it and we have to pay them back $60,000, what's the net effect? Well, we're down $60,000 there, and then we got to come up with a balance of what we're going to have to pay the engineering firms. Figure at $120,000 plus loss. So we have to discuss this and figure out what we're going to do with this money. Are we going to send it back, or are we going to repurpose? If it's repurposed, what?
Back in the day, when we talked about parks and such, there was a park grant that our old manager used to talk about that came up once a year. Do you remember the name of it?
To be honest, until more recently, that there was a grant for a park. Funds that I was made aware of was when the new community put in the monies that the council elected to accept in behalf of room for a park.
So that money is still sitting there too, correct? In the bank account. Okay. For Ivy Woods, for those that you don't know, instead of taking land to build a park, they took a sum of money, and that money is still very much in the bank, secure. We just don't have a piece of land to do that. We have to figure that one out too. Hopefully we can get this other stuff behind us so we can start working, get some of this done. So my point is, there is grants available later if we want to do a park that we can apply for yearly when we have more time and buy-in to move that project forward. For now, we are at risk of losing that $60,000 when it could be used for the engineering, and that would be great. So it wouldn't come out of our general fund this year, right, Roger?
Yes.
What do you guys think about it?
Well, I think that if we don't use it, we lose it, correct?
That is correct.
With you, John.
I've answered my question.
Well, is it? You gotta speak in your microphone. Junior,
Yeah, think better you did.
this I will take community buy-in. Mr. Skinner.
I will come up to the microphone.
Thank you. I'd like anyone to.
Since it's just quick, I'm just gonna do this. Is there anything in the Parks and Recreation master plan that prevents us from moving the money?
Roger.
We'll have to look into that and see. I'm not familiar with what all the details of that.
Oh. I think I can help with that. The money was moved to the skate park, when we were trying to decide. We put a resolution that would be, I think, Ed, we would need to make a new resolution, would we not, to move it? We made a resolution to use that grant money for the skate park. Can we walk that back through another resolution?
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes. Have a superseding resolution, just that this resolution supersedes the prior one, and that is allowed, generally speaking, when you're allocating funds from to a new project.
That answer your question, Mr. Skinner?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Roger, the resolution. Someone else? Go ahead, Mr. Wagner.
Greetings again. In response to what you were talking about earlier regarding this, I don't think the public has ever seen anything to prove that the previous employees made all these mistakes. There's a lot of accusations, a lot of saber rattling, but nothing has been brought to light. Now, we also have former employees that say that, nope, never did happen, had all that stuff. So guess what? It's a he said, she said, that needs to be dropped. We need to stop bringing it up, that accusing other people doing things, that's why it was missed. Secondly, if I remember right, you were in charge of the Parks and Recreation Committee, were you not?
Keep your comments to the council. not the staff.
Your employee that you hired, Ms. Clinton over here.
I didn't hire anyone. I don't have that ability, but go ahead.
You had a Parks and Recreation Committee that was supposed to be working on this diligently.
Yeah.
For many meetings, he didn't show up. They didn't have a response, didn't have a comment, supposedly because people didn't respond. Tenacious people that want to do something for the community, they get responses. So my question is, why did the park not happen? How did the ball get dropped?
The council, we've had a lot of transition time. I'm not going to sit here and make excuses. We had transition time of staff, administration, and go ahead, John.
I'll tell you why it didn't get done. Number one, we needed more money to be able to do it. We also did not have the property to put it on. That was the thing that I voted against doing it that way. I didn't want to take that money. I wanted to put a park over there. They would have had to have put a park. The one you're talking about, Susie, is the one that said we should go along with them and sell it that way. So as far as you saying stuff about him or anybody else in here,
No, I'm just saying the
take a look at yourself.
The accusation need to stop.
Okay, this is no longer public comment. Thank you. Stay on topic. Come on up. Go ahead, Amy.
I am just wondering if we can also kind of pinpoint, come back to it. What are we doing with the urban growth boundary so we can get properties to buy park areas and do things like that? I just look into the future, that's all.
Well, that's something to look at, that's for sure, but that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother game. And in our water master plan, we will be doing that in the future. John. Okay, we're gonna move on from this topic, I think, unless there's any more. Okay, I'm not hearing any, so can we vote to do transfer of the funds? Get a resolution for it? Ed?
I believe you can if you can.
Okay, can I have a motion to repurpose community property initiative funds from state park to the payment for the construction management fees of the wastewater treatment plant? I need it read just like that.
I'll make the motion to raise the community funds from the skate park, pay for construction management fees for the wastewater treatment plant.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any more discussion? Junior? No, okay, so I'm gonna take a roll call vote. Junior Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Okay, Council President Michael Gregory,
Yes.
Councilman Joel Ramon.
Yes.
Councilman John Harvey.
Yes.
Let the record reflect that the 4 councilmen present all voted aye in favor of, the motion carries, so moved. Next, we're going to go on to the Budget Committee, old business, A, Budget Committee. Roger, do you have an update?
Council certainly is invited. The budget committee is aware of this meeting, and there will be 2 pieces to this. First will be the presentation. Second will be the voting of the budget committee to forward the budget to the city council.
Public comment will be happening then too.
Public comment will be happening then,
Okay.
and it is posted on our website.
But I will say, past public comment, it's a time for the committee to work. You will get to be heard, but then we will move into where the committee does their job and gets to work through the process. So I won't be doing hand raising, so have your questions or concerns ready, okay? All right, is that all, Roger?
That's pretty much where we're at the moment.
Moving on from that, the 4th of July celebration, I'm gonna hand that over to Michael.
Prior to this meeting, we had our 4th of July meeting, and we have our budgeted amounts for our fireworks. We have our music budgeted in. We're gonna have the bouncy house, we're gonna have dunk tank, we're gonna have food vendor. We're looking for, and please help try to spread the word. We need some art and craft vendors. We'd like to fill the street with arts and craft vendors if possible. We have a large raffle gonna be happening, and we've got the kids carnival taken care of. I'm still reaching out for the porta potties to be here and the public service for the garbage cans. Kids carnival's taken care of. But main thing else, I need volunteers the day of. I need a couple of people to help with the major car show we have. I'm thinking we're gonna have the biggest car show we've ever had. I could use a couple of people to take and put numbers on those cards for the put in window plaques for the voting on the car show. I could use a couple of people to help with the parade as people come in to assemble for the parade. I need help with that too. So if anybody feels they can help me out on Thursday, the 4th of July, please reach out. If you need my number, I'll glad to do it. Other than that, here's wanted. Thank you all.
Are you gonna take questions? That's up to
Yeah.
you. Come forward.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Just for your craft vendors, especially since Canby, Wilsonville, and a couple of other cities have farmers markets that have craft vendors. I can reach out to the people that are responsible for organizing those to see if you can't contact those people to get them over here.
I have a list of our prior contacts, and I've reached out to a couple of people. This is very old, and ever since this is prior to COVID, so my contact list is diminished. So I would welcome anybody to help out.
Unfortunately, since COVID, I have lost a couple of my contacts within Wilsonville and Canby that were running those farmers markets, so I don't know who's running them.
Word of mouth, you guys, as a community, word of mouth is just wonderful. And you're all welcome to bring ideas, bring vendors. We welcome the help. That is something that, feel free to suggest or even talk to these people. It's $25 to rent the spot. If you need electricity, it's $35. So it's really reasonable. We did post about a meeting earlier for this, and we do that every year beforehand. So if you want to help, reach out to Council President Michael Gregory or myself. Thank you. Okay, we'll move on from that to staff reports. Chief?
Try to lighten the mood a little bit. So the the council report, calls for service, we were on cab reports for 138, 5 arrests, traffic offenses for 25, traffic written warnings for 28, assist outside agencies was 7, outside city limits. Inside city limits, we had 8 agency assist. I'd like to start with, as some of you are aware, I want to give some recognition to Officer Dan Marshall. He's moved on to Hubbard Police Department. It's sad to see him go, but good to know he's nearby. Officer Camacho, I'm sorry, I don't want to continue. Officer Camacho and I attended his swearing-in ceremony A lot of people there, they're lucky to have him. He's still gonna be assisting us with part of our training, because he was our firearms instructor, and Hubbard is still gonna let us use Officer Marshall. And we all look forward to still working with him in that facet. Officer Camacho will be coming out of the school at the end of this week, since school is out for the summer. I want to extend my appreciation to Officer Camacho for this year at the Jervis School District Student Success Officer. Officer Camacho has done an excellent job with the students and staff from the Jervis schools. I've heard lots of compliments about him. His integrity and ability to interact with the students is apparent when you see him working in the schools. I'd also like to take this time, he's not here, because he's actually at the school at an event. I think he was saying something about getting dunked in the dunk tank, so might be getting a little wet right now. I recently asked Officer Camacho to be the out-of-class sergeant, which I believe will really help us in, with the community connection, also with he's a FTO, that'll help with the new hires that we have coming on. His experience in the Marine Corps, he was also a corporal in the Marine Corps. He's got vast experience with that. I believe that he's a very good step for him, a good choice for us. I'd also like to thank Officer Dryden. She's been stepping up with our short staffing, filling in spots and gaps that we need her to. She's learning and growing a lot as an officer. Administrative Assistant Camacho has continued to attend more trainings to help the Jervis Police Department to continue moving forward. We have started our evidence audit with the assistance mainly of Camacho and Administrative Assistant Camacho and Mr. Rubin. We've also updated our lexical policies, finding there's some that we're still needing to tweak here and there, so we can be up to date and also work towards our becoming accredited. We're continuing to update the hiring process. We've changed a lot of the hiring process to make it more up to date. I'm also adapting the policies on that, and we getting a lot of assistance with that from Ken Rubin, and also a lot of guidance from CIS, so that we make sure we're checking all our boxes when we make those changes. We have some training coming up within shortly with Mount Angel. We got a mass casualty training that we're going to assist them with. For the parade, we have several agencies that are going to be coming and assisting us for the parade. And last but not least, I want to talk about the job openings. So we do have 2 certified officers, both in backgrounds, both very close to being at the end of their backgrounds. Hopefully one, if everything works out, could start by July 1st. And the other one probably by the middle of July or by the end of July. They're both certified officers, and I think they bring a lot to the table and will do well with the other officers we already have. Thank you.
Thank you, and congratulations to Officer Camacho. He's done a wonderful job. I hear good things about him all the time too. Just for a tidbit, for administrative costs, the model that we like to follow is a chief and a sergeant. Sergeants are still union protected and they are not administrative. So the cost to the city is a little lower, but you're getting the same kind of, not sure the word, you're getting very good service. And small towns like ours operate like that very efficiently with a chief and a sergeant. So that is the goal, is it not?
Yes,
Yeah, and administratively, I'm pleasantly surprised we're saving quite a bit of money doing things, restructuring things a little bit. So stay tuned. Kyle?
Good evening. The last month has been probably one of the busiest months I've had since working here with all the projects going on. Lots of happenings out at the wastewater plant. They have completed, actually, since I typed this, they've completed the almost 2,400 foot of force main pipe. It's all in the ground, covered. The ground has been restored. And recently they have installed 2 really large cement vaults that will house our valves and meters for the new underground infrastructure. So that's going in. And as recently as today, they had a boat out there on one of the lagoons installing some of the new floating air meters. So that was kind of exciting to see.
Did you say they were in a boat out there? Oh, dear.
Yes.
We're capsizing.
Then, moving on, this time of year, as the weather changes, the biology in the pond greatly increases activity. We're always monitoring our coliform levels and coli levels. We had a situation where our tests were sky high, just well out of permitted levels. Been in contact with DEQ, and we have found the source of the solution. There's a lot of buildup on our intake, and so we have cleaned that, and we've had 2 consecutive tests that are just almost undetectable at this. So we're open for some grace with that. And then on that same note, switching over to our irrigation season, beginning of May, when we turn that system back on, we have 2 manifolds that control all 10 zones. One of those manifolds almost ruptured. It was observed where it kicked up, several inches, and almost completely severed the top of the pipe. So a company was needed to come out and repair it. They had to crane to lift it off, repair it in a timely manner, because as usual, we're always fighting high lagoon levels right after severe rain system to come through. So they were able to come out the next day and get that repaired. And we were able to bring on a part-time employee for assisting us in a lot of our mowing duties that will free us up to do a lot of the technical work around town. He's a local gentleman that lives in town here. He's able to work Fridays, or I should say most Fridays. Sometimes he's got other things going on, so we'll be, probably 3 days a month here for the summer, which is nice to have extra hand. And on the subject of streets, everybody's probably noticed the hanging baskets and banners are up. Wrapping up some other projects here this week, and then we're going to be real excited to get the bushes trimmed along Douglas, all around town. We're going to lay down Marcus this year, really get dressed up by the 4th of July. We had 2 street lights that had been burned out, and I was finally able to locate an electrician with a bucket truck to come out and fix that. It's a very simple fix, fortunately. The city owns 16 street lights between the high school grades and every other street light in town is owned by PG. So we have to maintain the 16. The splash pad and irrigation in the park was turned on. We had some issues with one of the solenoids, which is fairly typical for that. It's happened several years in a row. So we have had to cap off two of the solenoids, which are very expensive to replace. We're looking right now at alternative options to get that back up and functioning 100%, but it still has 8 different jets to get supply in. And then to wrap it up, everyone's noticed all the activity next door, the project going on here. Their permits were approved. They're breaking ground on the construction. Still a couple things they have to finish up before they can cut into the street, install services like sewer and water. So for the time being, all the activity is going to stay on site. But when you do have to cut in to install the sewer, which is very, very deep right there, the road will have to close for probably a good 2 to 3 days. Then the other utilities are going years deep and should traffic this long.
Do they need special permits for that?
Yes, the permit has been issued, but there's a performance bond for that is required before it's permit to. So once they have that, then we can go ahead and do full.
Well, I have a question. It's kind of off when we're in the parks. We had talked about doing some park lights over there, but with all of your projects going on, is that something we're still looking at in the future? Because PGE was thinking that they would help us, right?
Yes, on that subject, I forgot to put it in here. I've been in contact with Jeff from PGP regarding that, saying where we at on the list. He replied, he's waiting for the ground to firm up, which is what prevented them from completing that last year because the rains came in, the crews were pulled off on their stuff. So I anticipate in time. Unfortunately, the way that they work, that's more fill in. So it's going to be fairly short notice. And then
We will have park lights at Black.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Yep, I met that CEO at the mayor's conference and she asked what she could do to do better. And that's how this all got kind of looked at. So it was really nice. Hope that worked.
I'm curious as, how you say you're gonna have to cut up the road. Where you going to cross? Which road?
Fur Drive, right next to City Hall, real close to where the police cars are parked on the side.
Right.
Just about in line with the back entrance. It's where the sewer main is that they're tying into.
So they're gonna go across the lake. So, okay, so my question, is, once they get that cut in, they come back and repair that road. Who inspects that to make sure that that's done properly, the final, the blacktop and that?
That's gonna be through the public works department. So that has been a big topic lately. So with them, we've been talking about the compaction levels needed for that. So there's no settling because there has been issues previous problems.
Fifth Street, it's the same things happen all the way down. It's like a roller coaster. Okay.
Thank you so much, Kyle, you guys, you, Joe and Hunter. We had some water stuff happen and they were right there. I think Diana Barch texted me and I was able to get a hold of Kyle on a Sunday and we activated and they were out there like, I was thinking that, because, you know, we don't know unless people from the community would let us know. So thank you for that. Appreciate that. And Kyle, thanks for your quick action. We'll get it fixed. Appreciate it. Got to use that truck, or what was it, that trailer?
We've used that so much.
Yeah, it's paid for itself. So that was a good investment for us. So with that, Roger, you're up.
Okay, two of the things on my report here we've already discussed at length, so don't need to discuss them again.
Okay.
The council has in their packet had a matrix for internal controls. And there have been some things happening out on the internet talking about internal controls, and we're going to post this new internal control document. So it's not new, it's about 4 months old. We're going to post it out on the website so that there will be no doubt at all what our internal control matrix looks like. Let's see, the two more important things. We moved $75,000 of unrestricted general fund money from the pool account to our Umpqua Bank account to shore up some liquidity. And Kyle and I are going to be talking about a potential of applying for an ODOT grant for sidewalks to be installed over here by the school. We think that 250 is enough to do it, and it's not a matching grant; it is an outright.
So we won't need to match funds. Because a lot of times we didn't get grants. We just didn't.
Yeah, from my understanding, this is a no match grant with an application due date of August 31st.
Then if we can just get the county to do third there, because we have those two entrances to the school. Not sure how we go about that. Volunteer on the committees. Anybody? Takers?
One other thing, we need to consider an alternative date for the July council meeting. So that would be something folks would have to decide so we can implement our part of it.
Yeah, July 4th is the first Thursday of the month, and of course, that's a holiday. We're not going to hold a meeting. I would ask the second week of, July, I'm going to be gone. Since I've been mayor, this is my second term. I've literally missed one meeting because I was very sick. This will be the second meeting I've ever missed, and the council president that can run it. So if you guys want to do it the second week, I'll just stand down and go on my vacation.
I'm available on the 11th.
July.
Yeah.
And July.
Okay, and I will be absent for that meeting, as I am going on vacation to be with my son.
Excuse you.
Roger, anything else?
June 19th is I don't know if it's a federal holiday, it's called, it's Juneteenth.
It is a holiday according to Sarah, but are you talking about noticing for the budget? The special session? I don't know if we closed on that. It's not in the handbook, so I'm thinking not, Roger. Another day would be the July 5th. The date following July 4th is on a Thursday, the 5th is on a Friday. I don't know how that falls for you guys. My company, which is private sector, will be closed. So that's another one you guys need to look at.
I'll check to see what, covered.
But the Juneteenth, we don't have listed, so that would be a no, I believe. Okay, well, talking about that notice, I did find out that it will serve, as long as it's in, it serves as the 19, 20, 21, 22, and then I think it's the 24th, because end of day is 5 o'clock. We have a meeting at 6, we'll be on that other. Are you done, Roger? Yeah, I want to thank the staff for working as hard as you have. I'm sorry about all the rhetoric out there. Just keep your heads up and keep doing a fine job. Okay, and nobody's infallible, so I would ask for a little understanding as we continue to transition. Because we're not going to go back, no matter what happens, we're still going to go ahead. That's time. So being kind to a staff that is new and trying to learn, that's just respectful. You know, it's kind of what it is. So thank you. Go ahead, John has something for that comment.
I just want to give this receipt to Roger to put in the records. It's, for the amount of $207, which was given to Republic Services for a barbecue. And I can kind of thank them for what they did over. And they told me that they hauled off, I think, close to 40 tons. 40 tons.
Biggest cleanup we ever had.
I told them, I said, hey, man, you guys might not have to come back anymore.
Miss Skinner got us a big trailer that really helped people that couldn't come in. Amy, thank you. That was a fine thing you did. And I think that really helped with the volume that we were able to bring in. So again, thank you. It takes a village, right? Thanks, Amy.
Also, I think that the city was donating some money also for barbecue for the employees, so.
Oh. Good deal.
Yeah, Public Works, you guys, all of you, Chief West, all of you were out there. Thank you. And all the volunteers. Again, that's a record. This is the serious biggest cleanup we've ever had. So it's only going to get better and bigger. Just keep working together. Michael, go ahead.
Yeah, this will be directed to our staff. city emails, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm still unable to get the city email that goes out, and there's been a couple of emails that's been sent to me, but I'm not able to get them. And I guess they're really important, and I needed to know some things, and I don't have access to city email. I talked to our IT guy when he was here that day, and I give him my name, number, and then I called him 2 times with no response, but just so I don't get in any trouble or say something I'm not supposed to, I need to know what's going on, okay?
Okay, I will talk with Brian Miles about that. He's the head of Woodburn next week. I'll get some calls for him.
All right, because I have Teams 360, I have everything on my computers that's required to be able to get that email.
Okay.
Roger, didn't IT just have a transition where they're, have a different employee for us now, no names necessary, but we are not with the same IT person, so that person is new to us, so maybe it got dropped that way.
The people that have helped us out recently are very competent. And very responsive.
Okay, council, anybody else have questions? Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, one more, just a quick one. I just remembered, Shelby Dawn, she contacted me yesterday, and she will be available to sing the national anthem at the start of our parade.
The same lady.
The same lady as last year.
Oh, nice.
Well, we hope everybody will come out for the parade and the 4th of July. We've been planning it for months and months. This parade is on point to be bigger than, I don't know, biggest one we've ever had. They just keep getting bigger and better, and that's because everybody steps up. Thank you all. And with that,
I have one quick question on IT.
go ahead,
Thank you.
please.
Sorry.
No, come on up, introduce yourself.
My name's Elizabeth Wright, 463 East Hemlock Drive. Hi, I just wanted to clarify that the water bill stuff is supposed to be fixed by August. I just want to make sure.
Yes, ma'am. And honestly, I guess we can address that. We have in code, it's Cobalt. It's very, very old. And what we don't have is if there's human error where on a date or something where it would kick back and say, stop, red flag, wrong date, that's already passed. It doesn't do that. So with new
I
staff.
work at county and I totally understand. I just.
Yeah, but not a lot of people do, but it should be. And if it's not, will you please come forward and let us know?
Well, thank you.
Thanks. Oh, got a raised hand. Let's let that person talk.
Oh, this is Claire. I was going to ask.
Just real quickly, go ahead.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I don't know who CE is.
I guess you can't hear me.
CE, can you identify yourself with name and address, please?
I'm speaking, but I guess you guys can't hear me, and Laura has turned.
Unmute again. Hi, can you hear us? We can't hear you.
I can hear you. And Ed, you can hear you as well.
Ed, can you hear him?
He's muted too.
But the chat has been
He's
turned
muted
off,
too,
so
that's
I
why
cannot type anything.
Hey, that's been
And
trouble the whole time.
someone muted me,
Okay.
so
It
much
happens.
for allowing participation.
It's through the old, so they're saying something, but.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we need a new pad. I'm serious. We have probably speakers every time
Can you
almost.
tell them what she said, please? I don't think they
I mean, adjust it and then something happens.
Yes, can you
To
hear me?
CE that has
Coun-
their
Counselor?
hand up.
I'm not sure the council can hear
Hello?
me either.
Ed's trying to talk.
Well, I think
Oh,
the chat
oh, and-
was turned off. Also.
Yeah.
Can't you call them with your phone like you did before?
Ed? Can you
I'm
tell
gonna
them
try
what?
to get the phone number from the woman who's trying to talk to you, if you could then call her.
Absolutely. That'd be great, Ed. Can you text it to me?
Sure, Cece, can you tell me the phone number and I'll write it down and, text it to the mayor?
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't
So
catch
wait a second,
that.
I have to hang you up so she can hear me again.
Okay, okay. I'll look for a text then. Yep.
Technology, the final frontier, Star Trek. Ready?
That makes me ages.
Bring one of the teenagers from high school and they could.
Okay, CC,
Oh, good Lord.
Yes.
CC, if you give me your phone number, the mayor will call you. I'll text it to her.
Oh, well, no disrespect or anything. I don't want to give her my phone number.
Oh, well,
And you can tell her
okay.
that. You can tell her it's Claire Chang at 820 Winfield. I am not comfortable giving the mayor my phone number. And all I wanted to ask was about the water bill.
About the water
You can
bill?
have an option.
I wanted to, I had a
Well,
question about the
with
water
with
bill.
the recent Teams update, we've been having more issues at work with the fact that it's recent, everything.
Yeah.
Well, Claire,
And you can give her my phone number too.
what,
Everybody has it anyway.
what I'll suggest, Claire, is that you call Roger tomorrow to talk about the water bill, okay?
Sure.
That way you can get your concerns taken care of, and you don't have to pass on your phone number, okay?
Sure.
And if you need Roger's phone number, I can probably look it up, but I've got two programs open and I'm afraid I'm a little bit technologically obtuse here.
That's fine. That's fine. I hadn't heard the water issue brought up. I raised my hand and then someone went up to the mic and had a question about the water bill. But you can, so, feel free to let the mayor know that it's Claire Chang.
Yes. And I will pass that on and I'll ask whether the Roger can call you or you can get a hold of him tomorrow. Okay?
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's see, how do I do this? I gotta go back to the other.
Not that, well, help immediately, but what is your selected default for your speakers?
Oh, yeah, change the speakers. Oh, here it goes. Dan.
The person we were having trouble, we had a conversation together, was Claire Chang.
Okay.
And she wanted to say something about her water bill or had a question. She's gonna try to get a hold of Roger tomorrow. I want to give her phone number to you or the council. But it's Claire Chang. She lives in the city and she had a water issue.
Yeah, we had a water bill issue where they went out, we've reissued them, but some of them that were paid in a 3-day window, I think it was, didn't get updated. So those will still reflect the wrong amount until August, but it'll straighten itself out, is what Encode Tyler Agency told us.
Can you hear it now?
Yeah. Claire, did you hear that? Okay, well, she can
I
call
heard
Roger
about
and that will be fine. Okay.
Can you hear us?
And is it okay if I close the meeting now?
Just trying to, but it volume.
Well,
Jesus, it's all running on your sense.
we'll get our plan on this, but it's been an ongoing problem, since our last pro tem was here in Morgan. Everything was just offset and things and speakers were wrong and we've been working on it for months. Sorry about the inconvenience. But anybody is welcome to, email me at my city email if you have mayor business that you'd like to discuss. That's where I prefer to do it. I can also give you my phone number at that time. I have no problem doing it. So with that, the time is 8:19. This meeting's adjourned. Thanks, everybody, for coming.
Yeah, this most recent update.